So a little bit of a different video today. Now, I'm sure a lot of you already watched it, but the Battlefield 6 multiplayer reveal happened today. It was just a massive event with a ton of content creators on site playing the game, live streaming it, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. Now, for those of you who are newer to the channel, I have been a longtime Battlefield fan. Unfortunately, they kind of dropped the ball with the last two iterations of the game, but it's the game that I kind of grew up playing in terms of an FPS game, and it is what appealed to me with Delta Force was the combined arms game mode that it offered. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to leave Delta Force to the side and completely stop playing it. I still thoroughly enjoy the game, but you can expect to see some Battlefield videos as well coming to the channel in the near future, because from what I've seen, and I've actually been able to play Battlefield Labs, I don't think it's that much of a big deal talking about it now that everybody has seen what Battlefield 6 has to offer with the reveal. But from what I've played and from what I've seen, I'm super excited. I think Battlefield might somewhat be back. Now, it is good to temper our expectations. They still technically could drop the ball with like the live service or stuff like that, but I feel like it is going back to its proverbial roots that we had with like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 that just made me love the Battlefield game as a whole, the Battlefield franchise as a whole. And I wanted to touch a little bit on what we saw today with the multiplayer reveal, what we can expect from the next game. And again, before anybody starts saying anything, just don't pre-order the game. Wait till you get your hands on the betas that are coming out next week, the week after that, and the week after that as well. So obviously destruction seems to be taken to the next level. You can destroy buildings with like rocket launchers, sledgehammers, any type of explosives you can think of, even small arms fire. We saw somebody shoot a door out with a shotgun, which seems really nice. Now, I'm somewhat worried that there might be a little bit too many particle effects and stuff like that, or too much destruction. I wouldn't want it to be like a Battlefield Bad Company 2 do-over where a map just gets completely leveled because the matches last too long, but I digress. Classes are also back, as you're seeing right now, the footage on screen. So we have the Assault that has the ability to equip 2 primary weapons, which is pretty new. I don't think this, and I actually know that's never been done in the franchise before. So you get access to that, of course, and a ton of other explosives that, you know, you would expect the Assault class to have access to, and like the Adrenaline Syringe to give yourself a little health boost. The Support can use the Healing / Resupply crate. So the crate does both now, so you don't have like the Support have ammo and the Assault have like the healing capabilities as we did in Battlefield 4. It's now the same class. They also have access to deployable cover, which I think is really interesting, and obviously access to machine guns as we saw in the footage. The Engineer, good old Engineer, having access to like a slew of explosive launchers, the Repair Torch, so the only class that can actually repair vehicles, 18 mines, and then the Recon class having access to gadgets that can spot enemies, drones, C4, laser designators, and spawn beacons. So pretty much like what we expected from classes to have, or the gadgets they have access to, is what we got here, with some tweaks, of course. Classes now have extra features or leveling up within the match itself that you can get like special perks and stuff like that, kind of like the squad perks from Battlefield 4 if you ever played that game. So that is pretty neat. I didn't really get a chance to try that out in the Battlefield Labs, unfortunately. Movement is also interesting. It seems like there's going to be a ton of ways to actually traverse the map, especially with the new destruction. You can really destroy pretty much most walls and get through it how you see fit, so that's going to be really, really nice. You can finally drag teammates while reviving, so this was a feature that was promised in Battlefield 5, and I'm excited to see it be implemented in Battlefield 6. Games have been doing it for a while now. Even BattleBit Remastered, you could drag teammates, and it just feels like it was needed in Battlefield, because oftentimes you just have people die in the middle of nowhere, and you didn't really want to revive them because they were in such a bad spot. But now with the dragging mechanic, that's going to change. They also said that you can now lean and peek around corners. Now, they didn't mention if this was manual leaning. I hope it is, because I hate automatic leaning. Half the time it doesn't work, or it doesn't lean when you actually want to lean. So hopefully it's manual leaning. You can mount weapons on objects and windows, which is really nice. And they also showcase the hitch a ride ability, which I find really interesting for vehicles. So you saw people just literally grapple onto a tank that was moving past them, and it allows them to get a quick ride to the next spot. So that's a really, really interesting feature as well, just allowing it to feel more immersive and really feel like you're in the thick of it, and you can just hitch a ride on a vehicle that's driving by grappling onto it. It's really, really awesome. Also, they didn't show it in any of the trailers that were featured, but weapon modification system with each weapon having a set number of points to spend on attachments with actual detailed weapon stats to boost. So it's going to really give players the ability to modify the weapons how they see fit, but not make something that's completely overpowered or just have like all the attachments on there. Maps, there'll be 9 maps at launch, which is really exciting. So you're going to have one that's in Egypt, Gibraltar, Tajikistan, Brooklyn, and a remake of the classic Operation Firestorm from Battlefield 3, which I am really excited for. That map was so much fun. So a lot of the maps are going to have some more CQB focused stuff, some a blend between land vehicles and infantry combat, and then some are just a large scale maps that you would expect from a Battlefield game. Each map, they say, is tailored to fit the various game modes that will be available, and those game modes are Conquest, Breakthrough, and Rush. So pretty classic modes in Battlefield in a Battlefield game here. I'm really looking forward to Rush. Rush is so much fun. You also get Team Deathmatch, Squad Deathmatch, Domination, King of the Hill, and a new game mode called Escalation. And from what I understand, Escalation is going to play as is the amount of objectives will slowly diminish over time, over the course of a match, to culminate in a final battle at the end, where I would imagine there's probably only a single point left. So it sounds like an interesting game mode from what I've been able to decipher from various content creators playing or talking about Battlefield 6. Yeah, it looks like they're really just putting all the eggs in this basket, and they kind of have to, because, you know, they dropped the proverbial ball with the last 2 releases of Battlefield. We also have Portal that is making a comeback, but better than before, with a revamped and more powerful editor to create some pretty crazy experiences that you're going to see on screen shortly here. So it's just going to allow players to really tailor modes and pretty much create whatever they can imagine within the Battlefield Portal editor. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. And they also said that they're going to have featured verified modifiers that allows players to create custom modes, but like not too crazy. And it's still going to allow players to get XP while playing Portal, because as we all know, in 2042, when they implemented Portal, people were just making some weird game modes to farm XP that could then be used in like the main mode, so with Conquest and Breakthrough and all that. Yeah, people will be able to do like hardcore mode if they want to do that. It seems like it's a step above what they released with 2042, and hopefully they're going to support that long term, and maybe even bring in classic maps, or hopefully if they remake maps, they actually make them available in the main game. I'd love to see certain maps like Caspian Border and stuff like that redone in here, or even Strike at Karkin is a classic Battlefield map. Gulf of Oman, yeah, Gulf of Oman as well. So just a lot of maps that I'd like to see come back with the Battlefield 6 game. We're also getting a full single player campaign that there was a trailer for. I'll leave links to all this stuff in the comment section down below if you didn't have a chance to look at the trailers. But yeah, there's just a ton of stuff that we're getting with Battlefield 6. I'm super excited. They also teased Firestorm 2.0, so there will be a Battle Royale experience to the Battlefield 6 game. But as far as I understand, it will be a free-to-play, so it's really going to bring in even more players with that free-to-play component, because as you all know, you know, Battlefield 5 did have Firestorm, which was a Battle Royale, but unfortunately was hidden behind a paywall. And yeah, unfortunately not a lot of people ended up playing it, because yeah, you had to buy in, and you know, the BR market right now is they're mostly all free to play, and it just died within like a month. There was nobody left playing it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the reveal that we had today. There was a lot of stuff happening. A ton of streamers were actually streaming Battlefield 6. It looks great. I'm excited to get my hands on the open beta. I did play the labs, but it was quite an early build with even some tanks and weapons that didn't even have any textures on them. So it was pretty early on, but I'm excited to get my hands on the beta next week, and the game is releasing on October 10th. Again, I encourage you to not pre-order the game. Wait until you can actually play it. Hopefully they also don't drop the ball with the live service, and we don't have to wait like, you know, 6 months to get a map, and the actual maps themselves at the core when the game releases are actually good, as opposed to what we got with 2042. But I'm very much looking forward to playing Battlefield 6, and yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the reveal. Are you excited for Battlefield 6? Are you cautiously optimistic? I'm cautiously optimistic, albeit I did get to play it already, so you know, my opinion might be a little bit skewed. But yeah, leave all that in the comment section down below. Let's get a discussion going down there. I'm excited to hop in and hopefully see you all on the battlefield. Anyways, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.